Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be making a lemony orzo with asparagus for dinner. Pretty easy, right? Couple ingredients. We've got some orzo pasta, asparagus. We're going to make a lemon zest sauce for some lemon and olive oil, and we're going to fry some breadcrumbs. We've got garlic here today, but you can use whatever kind you want. And we're going to fry those up and mix it in together, and it's going to turn out real good. So we're gonna start with around 1 cup of orzo. This will make enough for about 4 people. So if you have less, cut it in half or quarter it. I'm gonna put that into right behind us. We've got this pot of boiling water here, and we started heating up already. We're adding the orzo to it, unsalted water. Add in the orzo. Set a timer, about 8 minutes on it. Follow the instructions of whichever brand you got. But we're gonna set it 2 minutes less because we're gonna add in the asparagus just after. We're gonna get that timer started. While that's ticking down, grab our asparagus. I have about a pound here since we're making it. You can add less if you don't want as much, add more. I'm going to remove those rubber bands real quick, bring it on over here to the sink, and put in my little strainer. Just gonna rinse it. Make sure there's no dirt, anything else on there. Nothing too major, all right. Grab a handful of it right there. That's a lot. We'll start with hand. What we're gonna do is we're just going to, nothing too small, but right size. If you had to take a bite out of it, and nothing too fancy, as you can see here. We're just bite size. So we need to chop it into. Set a couple there, and do a couple at a time. For these, we kind of want to do a little bit of a diagonal cut. In this case, we cut off a little bit of, just had the head there, and I'll just take that out, not a big deal. So we've got the orzo cooking behind us, and what we'll do is about 2 minutes left over, we'll add in the asparagus into it. So the orzo will be done and the asparagus will be done roughly the same time. Okay. So I've got about 4 more minutes on that till we add the asparagus. All right, so we set our timer and the orzo's there. We'll give it a quick stir. Now, it still has about 2 minutes on it, but that's also the perfect time to add in our asparagus so that can start cooking. Try not to splatter too much here, so slowly just kind of adding it in. Stir. Set a timer for 2 minutes. And we'll come back to it. Stir it all in there. back in 2 minutes. Probably let that cook for like another. All right, so it's been about 2 more minutes. Asparagus is cooked for the most part. What we're going to do run over here. We're gonna use a fine mesh strainer because the Orzo is small and a normal strainer will slide right on through. Grab our pot here. A lot of asparagus to catch, so I'm gonna try and slow and steady pour because I don't want to, yeah, as you can see there's a lot of asparagus. As we drain out, we're gonna pour it into this, dump into this large bowl right here. End up mixing a bunch of, making our sauce and tossing it in there in a moment. But for right now, you can kind of shake it, get out all that water. You don't really want the water. Start actually seeing the Orzo in there instead of just asparagus. So now we're gonna make the sauce for it. So we're gonna give it 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Doesn't matter what kind, just olive oil. We're going to give it some zest of a lemon and then basically the full juice from a good medium large size lemon. About 3 tablespoons if you're trying to make it even, but it doesn't matter too much. So start zesting this just a little bit. If you have a finer grater than I do, then you're gonna get a much better zest than I do, but you know, it's okay. Work with what you got. Put the zest in there. Just quick cut the lemon in half. It's juicy. Pop it in our little lemon squeezer. And get some good lemon juice in there. Nope. Don't squeeze too hard or those will squirt everywhere like that. Other side there. And 3 tablespoons of oil. If you want, you could always add a little bit less. Doesn't have to be exact. You kind of just want to, you know, this is the sauce for it, so you want to make sure that there's enough to coat it after you toss it. We haven't added any yet. And just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. I believe in not over salting and peppering stuff, you know, let the in-person add to their taste buds. Now we'll just kind of toss it, mix it up. You have to be too precise for the science. Kind of coat everything in there. We're nearly done. Now we're gonna let this sit for a moment, and while it sits, we're gonna go do our breadcrumbs add in there. Now we'll go make the breadcrumbs. So like I said earlier, any sort of breadcrumb, you can make your own, you can buy boxed. Doesn't matter too much. We're gonna get about half a cup. Doesn't have to be exact. Just to add an extra bit of crisp to it. We've got pan over medium heat. We're adding just a tablespoon of oil or so, maybe 2. Maybe 1.5. Kind of a small pan, don't need too much. Let it heat up for a second. Add in the breadcrumbs, cook them for about 3 to 5 minutes until they're crispy and kind of golden and have absorbed it. Not an exact science, but just add them in there and move them around, let them absorb it. Don't let them burn. If they start burning, just turn down the heat a little bit. But my idea is get them a little bit crispier, a little bit crunchier, especially if you're buying them, in a box like that. Just add extra dimension to the dinner. Set a timer for about 3 minutes. I'll just stir it, cooking around, making sure that, constantly moving so they're crisping, they're turning golden as you can see, but they're not burning. That's the key to it. It'll absorb the oil. So you won't have too much. It won't be too oily, too greasy. Now they're kind of all browned up, a little bit past golden, a little bit more brown. We'll go add it on in to the rest of it. Put it on in. A little bit of extra dimension to it. Toss it all in. Serve yourself. Top it off, a little bit of cheese. little bit of Parmesan cheese while it's nice and hot, enough to, you know, get to melt in a little bit there. You can freshly grate it, or you can cheap out a little bit and get pre-grated. Bon appetit.